Cool. So, I hope I won't run into any technical issues. Let's see. My name is Sercan Atundas. I work at Ready Player Me. We are an avatars company. We create avatar creators that you can implement in hours into your games and applications that pretty much handles character creator part of your system. So, but today I want to talk about some utility, some use case of avatars, which is pretty close to me, which is creating characters and non-playable characters, NPCs, using AI and generative AI applications on them. So before we go into technical things, I want to take you back in time. And let's do it in a function of mathematical notation in an exponential fashion. So let's say now is the variable t. If we go back in time, t minus 10 over 4, thanks to the recent archaeological research, we know that human history actually goes way back in time than we thought. So we can go back in 10,000 years, and what we will see is people are gathering together in their huts, in their caves, small communities, and they are entertaining themselves with oral tales and toys and tools they make with bones and stones and rocks. So this is pretty much how they were entertaining themselves. This was the life back then. If we go back in t minus 10 over 3, things got a bit more complicated. Now we have big cities. We have opera, we have theater, and we have huge colosseums where gladiators are fighting each other. So life is much different, and there is more diversity in the type of entertainment people are finding. If we go back in 100 years back, then now we have cinema, we have the motion picture, we have electricity. Life has completely changed. We have radio, we can listen to those theaters now at home via radio, and in 5 to 10 years, the first TV will arrive, and which is going to change the life completely. Let's go back in time 10 years ago, t minus 10. Now we have Netflix. We already started collecting the fruits of the internet. We have Amazon. We have anything digital. And life became faster, easier. There's more distractions. And we can just sit in our living room and play games and talk to people. We have mobile phones. Everybody's connected. There is no barriers anymore. And let's go to t minus 1. Last year, pretty much advent of artificial intelligence. A lot happened. AI came from another cold winter. And new discoveries, new applications, things are moving incredibly fast. Every other day, there's a new paper coming out, and things are changing. We always discuss, can it be done faster? Can it be done easier? And it is. So let's start talking about what we can do with these today. I think it wouldn't be a bold statement if I say games are the ultimate form of entertainment. Looking at the exponential change of the entertainment from past to now, right now games are the only medium sticking out. It's not something new compared to music and cinema that we had. It started with arcade. We had big arcade machines. It was only available in these big computers not everybody would have access to. Later, it moved into our living rooms with personal computers. Later, everybody had mobile phones and we started playing mobile games. And later, mass adoption of computers and mobile internet. Everybody can play online games, and it's a huge part of our life. And today, VR is having its return, and it's becoming a mainstream medium to play games and entertain ourselves. All the major companies in the world are pushing their VR agenda and developing hardware for it. And game development is really not an easy thing to do. It might think like, many people think it's child play, it's just games, but it's a multidisciplinary field to work in. So you need lots of people from different disciplines. It's not just programming. It's not just 2D art or 3D art. There is management, there is quality assurance, there is audio, different factions of all of these. Just I try to put it into, like just 5 boxes, but these all branch into many, many different disciplines. And if you want to make a serious game, you would need hundreds of people, years of work, and it is difficult. A couple of days ago, GTA 6 trailer was out, and like everybody was hyped about that. Games development estimated to take 10 years, and it's going to be released in 2 years. So there is that. And also, it's estimated that it's going to cost $2 billion to make that single game. But it's such a thing that it's worth this investment. This is much more than the maybe like the top 5 movies coming from box office. It's like that big. The reason is we can control what is going on. We can even control the length of the story we are spending there. There are many different types of games. It might be a sandbox you can play theoretically forever. So this gives us that feeling that we can spend more time in it, we can create our personalities in there, we can form friendships, and that can just keep going on. So game development being that expensive and that costly brings us how we can utilize AI tools and systems to simplify this and make this faster. And we talked about certain sections that could be automized, and I would like to give some examples. So when we think about AI tools, we have certain models already handling things for us. Text generation, audio generation, there are great works going on 3D mesh generation. There's also 2D images we can create, and also even forging animations from previously recorded studio content. So we can have text, instructions, stories guided by AI, can make things faster for your writers. We might have 3D content generated, props. While you are focusing on your main characters, main locations, the rest of the things, the chair, the lamp, the stage, could be handled by AI. So you would focus on the things that matters the most, and the small details could be handled by AI. Music and voiceover. Imagine adding a new story, adding a new quest to your game, like close to release. What's going to happen is you need to go back to the studio, you need to maybe record another score for it, you need to find those voice actors again and record the lines again and again to add it back. So it's again another cycle of the development that takes extra cost and time. Concept art during ideation could be simplified, could be made faster, and your artist can just work on the fine details on them, bring their ideas and imagination on it. They can translate their style on it. And finally, also, animations could be handled easily. Again, what makes serious games stick out that much and look so gorgeous is that they are even replacing cinema in a way. I personally like story-based games a lot, and what I do is, when there is some discussion, people are talking in a cutscene, I just lay back and watch what is going on, because it feels like watching a TV show, then getting back into the action. So, again, if you want to add a quest or something to your game, you would need to go to the studio, put those actors into this suites, record that again, refine it, clean it. It's a huge work. So you can actually deal with the hard part, the main part of the game, the NPCs walking on the streets, or the other characters. Their animations could be completely automized. And when all these come together, if you can shave even 1 hour from each front, at the end it's going to create a lot of cost reduction and faster development for video games. And what I want to focus on is the melting pot of all these technologies, and which Ready Player Me works on: avatars and characters. So where you can use all these technologies is the characters you have in the games, either your main character that you play with or the others, because they make the game feel immersive. You walk on the streets of Watch Dogs, first time you see someone talking on the phone, it feels like, wow, they have their own lives. They are talking about things. It feels so cool. You play a couple more hours, you walk on the same street, You see the same guy saying the same lines again, and then it breaks the immersion. You're like, yes, that's a game. They had certain budgets. They had to record certain lines and record certain animations. That is just natural. But that breaks the immersion. So this is where we can bring all these technologies together on the characters and make them feel more real. So you focus on the main part of the game, and the rest that makes it look more vibrant could be diversified by AI. So what could be these building blocks that would help us create smart NPCs and characters? So generating text, you can have reactional speech, history and background to characters, and personality. So those people walking on the street, they might have their childhood memories, their job, the things that happened to them, even what happened in the recent events in the city. They might be aware of those. And these things might have effect on them, and everything that happens, you can record these into their personal data. What happens at the end is, let's say you are walking on a street, you bump into someone. If that guy had a fight with his wife last night, it might deliver a different line. Or if it's a businessman, really, like a proud guy, he's going to be a bit more angry with you. Like the line will be different. The personality, whatever happened to them recently, is going to translate it that way. And you might have adaptive animations. Let's just think about one of the basic animations one character would have, walking. So you might have one walking animation. If the character is drunk, it will need a drunk walking animation. If the character is tired, it's going to need a tired walking animation, proud walking animation, or the type of animation that would define their personality. Because our silhouette also defines our personality. You sometimes recognize people from how they walk from far away. So this could be translated here. Their personality, what kind of person they are, can be reflected into how they walk. And walking is just one example. There might be ways of manipulating the voiceover. There are technology now. You can record like a 3-second sample and capture that person's entire tone of voice, and you can generate any sound from that. But what matters is the way of delivery. Everybody has a different color of voice, and your emotions also reflects on the line you are delivering. So again, we go back to the animation. There might be a way of delivering the exact same line when you are drunk, when you are angry, or in a neutral state. So instead of recording multiple lines for every possible personality and situation, when you add this grid, it becomes like tens of thousands of maybe possibilities. You just do it on the fly using artificial intelligence. And face on body features. So you want to create all these NPCs that are filling the streets. They will look different. You want them to look different. And you want them to look accurate. So you wouldn't expect, these are going to be a bit, stereotypical things, but you wouldn't expect a company executive to have maybe face tattoos or, like scars on the face. That would kind of, or, even the outfits might look kind of different. You would say, oh, they didn't do a good job. They just picked a random character and they picked random personality. It doesn't make sense. While generating characters, you can also rely on that and make them look accurate to how they would, depending on their status, their personality, their background. These all might kind of affect that. And yeah, outfit and accessories, I mentioned. This is also fashion is something that defines us. If someone is a metalhead, you will see all the black T-shirt and the jeans and the spikes coming out, their leather jacket, or some other things. So how you look also defines who you are, and this can be translated into how the NPC looks used AI. And finally, the textures on this, the face or the outfit, all can be diversified and generated by artificial intelligence, giving you more options to create from the same set of personalities. And of course, I want to bring it to how Ready Player Me helps and will help this be possible. We are a startup. that is only dealing with 3D avatars, so we are not solving any problems on the audio space or animation space or some of the others. But we do work with content generation, the avatars, how they look, and how we can ease up this process. We are working on systems that helps you create different styles of avatars. So you can prepare a style for your game and assign it to an application you have, and the characters would look like in that style. On top of that, we do partnership with the world's top fashion brands to bring their content in a digital form. So when you use Ready Player Me character creator in your game or application, you can actually have a chance to monetize through these brands. So you can use either Tommy Hilfiger, Ray-Ban, Calvin Klein, or some other brands and have their assets directly in your game, and you can also monetize. And on top of that, we are working on node-based systems to help ease up the content generation process. So you can generate meshes and textures for them using the systems, so you would need less art help to ease this process, so you can have more content in your game that fits the style of your game. Because every game is different, they have different target audience, and you would need different content, creating some kind of a dress code for your game. And you can have the control over that and create content with our AI-guided systems and have the implementation happen easier. And yeah, before I finish my speech, what I want to tell is that we are coming to the singularity level almost. Every day something new is happening, and the humans, as us humans, level of the speed of acceptance and creation has certain limit. And it's getting shorter and shorter, and we will be able to have this content and the technology developing faster and faster. Once we get there, we will need to use this, we will need to adopt that. Some, like artists or musicians are kind of resisting the change that is coming with AI. What I think that is going to work best for us is embracing this, learning as much as possible about that, and trying to turn us into superhumans in our field using the support of AI. So we can focus on now and develop for the future. Thank you so much. Yeah. I think that should be all. If I have time, I can maybe take some questions. I think that's not a part of the format, but... All right, then. Thank you so much again.